Crossing Continents was presented by Alex Last. The producer was Ellie House. And now on Radio 4, it's time for this week's Bells on Sunday, which comes from the Church of the Blessed Virgin Mary, Wambrook in Somerset. The church was originally built in the 13th century of local hamstone. It has a 3-stage tower that houses a ring of 5 bells, the oldest of which date from the late 14th century. The tenor bell dates from the 15th century and was cast by Thomas Jeffreys in Bristol. It weighs 900 weight and is tuned to B flat, and we now hear them ringing Winchendon Place doubles. And those are the bells of the Church of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Wambrook in Somerset. In a few moments here on Radio 4, the shipping forecast. And now on BBC Radio 4, the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 0015 on Monday the 19th of August 2024. There are warnings of gales in Seoul, Lundy, Fastnet, Irish Sea, Shannon and southeast Iceland. The general synopsis at 1800. Developing Atlantic low, moving rather quickly northeast, expected Northern Ireland 993 by 1800 Monday. The area forecasts for the next 24 hours. Viking, north at Sierra, south at Sierra. Westerly or southwesterly, backing southerly 4 to 6, backing southeasterly 5 to 7 later. Showers, then rain later, moderate or good, occasionally poor later. 40s, Cromarty, 4th, Tyne, Dogger. West or southwest 3 to 5, backing south 5 to 7, perhaps gale 8 later. Showers, then rain later, good, occasionally poor later. Fisher, German Bight. Northwest, backing southwest 3 to 5, then south 5 or 6 later, mainly fair, good. Humber, Thames, Dover, White. Variable 2 to 4, becoming south or southwest 3 to 5, occasionally 6 later except in Dover. Showers later, good, occasionally moderate later. Portland, Plymouth, North Biscay. Variable 2 to 4, becoming southwesterly 4 to 6, occasionally 7 later in Plymouth. Rain later, perhaps thundery, good, occasionally poor later. South Biscay. Variable 2 to 4, fair, good. Trafalgar. North or northwest 4 to 6, mainly fair, good. South Fitzroy. Variable 2 to 4 at first in west, otherwise cyclonic, becoming mainly northwesterly later, 3 to 5, drizzle later, good, occasionally moderate later. North Fitzroy, southerly 3 to 5, veering westerly or southwesterly 4 to 6, rain, moderate or good, becoming poor for a time. Seoul, Lundy, Fastnet, Irish Sea, south or southwest 3 to 5, increasing 6 to gale 8, veering west or southwest 5 or 6 later, rain for a time, perhaps thundery, moderate or good, becoming poor for a time. Shannon, southerly 4 or 5, becoming cyclonic 5 to 7, occasionally gale 8 for a time in southeast, then becoming westerly later. Fair, then rain, perhaps thundery, then showers later, moderate or good, becoming poor for a time. Rockall, Malin, south or southwest, veering west later, 4 to 6, rain, moderate or good, occasionally poor. Hebrides, Bailey, Fair Isle, Faroes, south or southwest, becoming cyclonic for a time in Bailey and Faroes, 4 to 6, occasionally 7 in Fair Isle, rain, moderate or good, occasionally poor. And southeast Iceland, cyclonic 3 to 5, becoming northeasterly 6 to gale 8 in west and north, fair, then rain, good, becoming moderate or poor. And now the weather reports from coastal stations for 2300 on the 18th of August. Tyree, automatic, southwest by west, 4, 6 miles, 1012, now falling. Stornoway, southwest by south, 3, 9 miles, 1008, now falling. Lerwick, west-southwest, 6, 9 miles, 1005, rising. Wick, automatic, west-southwest, 3, 14 miles, 1009, rising. Aberdeen, southwest, 2, 19 miles, 1012, rising. Lucas, southwest, 3, 14 miles, 1013, rising more slowly. Boomer, south by west, 1, 9 miles, 1015, rising more slowly. Bridlington, west by north, 2, 1016, rising more slowly. Sand Eddy light vessel, automatic, west by south, 4, 5 miles, 1017. St. Catherine's Point, automatic, northwest, 2, 1018, rising more slowly. Jersey, northwest by west, 3, 8 miles, 1020, rising more slowly. Scilly, automatic, west by south, 2, 7 miles, 1019, rising slowly. Milford Haven, west, 2, 9 miles, 1018, rising more slowly. Aberporth, south, 3, 6 miles, 1018, rising more slowly. Valley, south-southwest, 4, 5 miles, 1016, now falling. Liverpool Crosby, southwest, 4, 6 miles, 1017, rising slowly. Valentia, south, 2, slight drizzle, 3 miles, 1016, falling slowly. Ronaldsway, west, 2, 1016, now falling. Malin Head, south-southwest, 4, mist, 4 miles, 1013, falling slowly. And Machrihanish automatic, south by west, 1, 6 miles, 1014, now falling. And here's the weather forecast for the inshore waters of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, valid for the following 24 hours, issued by the Met Office at 2300 on Sunday the 18th of August. The general situation: an area of low pressure will move northeastwards across Ireland and then Scotland during the course of Monday, with associated weather fronts bringing some bursts of heavy rain, especially to western and northern areas during the afternoon and evening. In addition, strengthening southerly winds are likely to reach gale force for a while in some southwestern coastal areas and also in the Irish Sea. Cape Wrath to Rattray Head, including Orkney. Southwesterly 4 to 6, backing southerly or southeasterly 3 to 5, then occasionally 6 again later in east. Rain at times, moderate or good, occasionally poor. Rattray Head to Berwick upon Tweed. Southwesterly, backing southerly 3 to 5, increasing 6 for a time in far north, then backing southeasterly 5 to 7 later. Rain later, good, becoming moderate or poor later. Berwick upon Tweed to Whitby. Southwest 2 to 4, backing south, southeast 4 or 5, then increasing 5 to 7 later. Rain later, good, occasionally poor later. Whitby to Gibraltar Point. Variable 2 to 4, becoming south or southwest 3 or 4, then increasing 5 or 6 later. Showers later, good, occasionally moderate later. Gibraltar Point to North Foreland. Variable 3 or less, becoming southerly or southwesterly 4 or 5, occasionally 6 later. Showers later, good, occasionally moderate later. North Foreland to Selsey Bill. Variable mainly northwesterly 2 to 4, backing southwesterly 3 to 5, then backing southerly later. Mainly fair, good. Selsey Bill to Lyme Regis. Northwest 2 to 4, backing south or southwest 3 or 4, then increasing 5 or 6 later. Rain or showers later, good, occasionally poor later. Lyme Regis to Land's End, including the Isles of Scilly. Westerly 2 to 4, backing southerly or southwesterly 5 to 7, perhaps gale 8 for a time later in far west, then veering westerly 4 or 5 later in west. Showers, then rain later, perhaps thundery, good, occasionally poor later. Land's End to St. David's Head, including the Bristol Channel. Westerly or southwesterly 3 or 4, backing southerly or southwesterly 5 to 7, perhaps gale 8 for a time later in west, then veering westerly 4 to 6 later. Showers, then rain later, perhaps thundery, good, occasionally poor later. St. David's Head to Great Orme Head, including St. George's Channel. Southwest 3 or 4, backing south 5 to 7, occasionally gale 8 later, then veering southwest 4 to 6 later. Showers, then rain later, perhaps thundery, good, occasionally poor later. Great Orme Head to the Mull of Galloway. Variable 2 to 4, becoming southerly 4 or 5, increasing 6 or 7 later. Occasionally gale 8 later in north, then veering westerly or southwesterly 5 or 6 later. Rain later, good, becoming moderate or poor for a time later. Isle of Man. Variable, mainly southwest 2 or 3, backing south 4 or 5, increasing 6 to gale 8 later, then veering west 5 or 6 later. Fair, then rain, good, becoming moderate or poor. Lochfoyle to Carlingford Loch. Variable 2 to 4, becoming cyclonic, mainly southerly 4 or 5, increasing 6 or 7 for a time in south, then veering westerly 4 to 6 later. Fair, then rain, moderate or good, becoming poor for a time. Mull of Galloway to Mull of Kintyre, including the Firth of Clyde and North Channel. Variable 2 to 4, becoming southerly or southeasterly 4 to 6, increasing 7 for a time later in far south, then veering westerly 3 to 5 later. Fair, then rain, moderate or good, becoming poor for a time. Mull of Kintyre to Ardnamurchan Point. Southwest 3 to 5, backing south or southeast 4 to 6, veering west 3 to 5 later. Rain at times, moderate or good, occasionally poor. Ardnamurchan Point to Cape Wrath. Southwesterly, backing southerly 4 to 6, veering southwesterly 3 to 5 later, then veering westerly or northwesterly 4 to 6 later, except in far north. Rain, moderate or good, occasionally poor. And Shetland Isles. Southwest, backing south 4 to 6, showers, then rain, moderate or good, becoming moderate or poor. And that completes the shipping forecast. And that's it indeed for another day here on BBC Radio 4. On behalf of my colleague Neil Nunez in the newsroom and myself, Al Ryan here in Broadcasting House, if you have been, thanks for listening. Have a safe, quiet and peaceful night. Good night. Ihawa.